Hi everyone! I hope you're having a wonderful day so far, and if you don't, I do hope that better things will come our way. And if you're new to this channel will talk more about the things that I like, the things that I'm interested in, and also the things that I would like to explore more. First thing on my list will be my fascinations towards supernatural and paranormal activities. More specifically, I want to talk more about things that I personally experience in my life. So my third story is going to be something that is more intense than the previous one because this experience, I was already old enough to remember it myself, and not only that I remember that this happened, but it continued on during my stay in my childhood home. So without further ado, here's my third story. I hope you enjoy it. One late afternoon at around 5 or 6, this is typically the time that I got home from school. My parents are still at work, I think, and then my brother, who knows where my brother went because he's always up and about. But yeah, I usually came home and I will stay home alone with my nanny. What I usually do when I got home was I stayed in my room and then wait for dinner. Typical teenager behavior. I know it's bad. But this afternoon, I decided to have a phone call with my friend, and I was wearing earphones on both of my ears, and then I just chatting with them. I'm not sure who I called, but yeah, I was on the phone with them. Usually when I wear headphones, I always have this anxiety within me that I hear noises just because it feels like I couldn't hear anything on my surroundings when I wear headphones. So yeah, usually I have that built-in anxiety. But when I was talking with my friend, I suddenly heard knocks on my door. Thinking that it might be my nanny because it's almost dinner time, I stood up and then I walked to the door and then I opened the door. There was nobody there. Well, it might be because of my anxiety and I heard noises that were not supposed to be there. I was like, okay, then maybe this time I should just wear one earphone. So I went back to the bed and wearing only one earphone, and then I continued talking with my friend. Interestingly, after 5 minutes talking on the phone, I heard another knock. And this time, I'm pretty sure I heard the knock because I only have one ear in. So I went back to the door and then I opened it again. And to my surprise, there was nobody there again. Thinking that it might be my nanny trying to play pranks on me, I called out for her name because I thought maybe she's just in another room, or maybe she knocked and then she was doing something else like the laundry or something. But no, she was not even on the same floor as me. I called out her name and she was answering from downstairs. My nanny was already old at that time, so I don't think she could change or turn into Flash and just whoosh, knocking on the door and then downstairs. It's just not possible. So I was already so creeped out about it, but not that creeped out that I want to leave yet, so I just went back to my room. But this time, I stopped the phone call because I want to feel the full force, I guess. I'm not sure, but at that time I was thinking that maybe if I just stare at the door and if I heard another knock, I can just dash to the door and then catch the culprit. Even though I know, rationally thinking, my nanny is not there. She will not be there. So I sat down, stared at the door, and then not even 5 minutes after I sat down and stared at the door, there it was again. I was not sure what gotten into me at that time, but I just dashed to the door, opened it quickly, and then there it was again. Nobody's there. So that sent chills down my spine. But what's more interesting about that was I could hear footsteps running away from my door, and the footsteps were heavy, so the vibration sort of sent the glasses on my water station clicking away. I was stunned. I couldn't move for a bit, for a while, but I guess that was my cue. If I ever waited for a cue to run, that was my cue. So I decided to grab everything on my room and then just stay downstairs and wait for the dinner downstairs. While I was lounging on the sofa, waiting for my nanny to whip up dinner, I could hear footsteps on the second floor. Sometimes it's just light thumps, sometimes it's heavier, but I definitely heard it. And so did my nanny. Because whenever it happened, I would turn to her, trying to find sort of confirmation that she heard the same thing as well. And yeah, she heard the same thing. She told me that it's a daily basis thing that happened in this house whenever she was home alone. So I thought, if my nanny could survive that, then maybe I could too without worrying. I don't know. But yeah, after that incident, I could hear, or maybe it was already there, but I noticed it more. I noticed there were more footsteps on the second floor whenever I'm downstairs with my nanny. Whenever the house is empty and it's just me and my nanny, I would hear some otherworldly sounds, supernatural, ghosty ghosts. I'm not sure, but yeah, it happens a lot. Until the last day that I stayed there, I could hear the footsteps on the second floor. So yeah, that's my third story. Thank you so much for watching or listening to my video. I do hope that you enjoy it and find it more interesting than my previous 2 stories. Let me know if you like the video, or if you have any comment, any questions, just leave them down below. I will do my best to answer your questions. And let me know as well if you ever heard of disembodied footsteps in your house, because I think it's a common thing that happened. It might be the house settling in or something else, or maybe you also have the ghosty ghosts in your house. So let me know. Bye bye.